Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Something comes from Kelly, calls about but comes so fairly known. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. It is time to get it started with Jason and Ben. And since it is a Monday, our buddy Eric Casillas at Fantasy EK on the socials. If you're new to the show, we give you our favorite plays every day. Ben and I are here 7 days a week. Like I said, Eric's with us on Mondays. First, second, third down. 3 favorite bets we've made since yesterday's show. Fourth and long is really now fourth and short. Quick hitters to get you paid in the first quarter, first half, first 3 innings, first 5 innings, that kind of thing. Over time, we've been doing football, same game parlays. This is the only daily sports wagering game show on the planet that we're aware of. We cover all the sports we're interested in and that we're betting here, and we do it transparently. So I need to issue a rare mea culpa. I sucked ass yesterday. Sucked. It was brutal, man. Even the games I was on, like San Francisco, don't really want to lay any points, just want to take them to win. Couldn't get the McCaffrey touchdown, even though he had like 6 chances inside the 5-yard line. Had some blocked field goals kill me in some other bets we had going. And then some games we just skull bleep like Atlanta. Woo-wee. And even there, right? Played that game over 36 and a half. Atlanta's got a full quarter to just get a garbage time touchdown down 30-0. And Zach Robinson, one of the most horseshit offensive coordinators I've ever seen, has Cousins throw checkdowns and then runs it 8 straight times with the backup running back. Not even the backup running back, the third string running back. It's quite a choice. Terrible day for me. How about you, Beltway Ben?
Yeah, the day itself, the plays that I gave out yesterday were negative, but throughout the week, we did have a few plays we gave out to cash us, so that was good. Of course, Hockenson props that I really loved all week and talked about. We had George Pickens' longest reception. I chalked it as a loss, was about to update it in the record, and all of a sudden Joe Milton comes in and hits him down the field for a 24-yard catch. So I was glad to catch that one. Again, we finished a little bit down, but early in the week, the plays that we gave out helped us, kind of stick where we were.
You can see the Super Discord there. That's all of our picks in real time as we make them, along with Eric Casillas. Eric, you had another strong Sunday, and I believe you've won 15 straight college football bets in the Super Discord.
Yes, 15 straight college football, 6-0 Saturday, 6-0 the Saturday before. So we're doing well. We had a good day yesterday. A couple of tough beats. I mean, I had James Conner over carries at 11.5. He had 9 at halftime, basically, and then broke his ankle. And that's, obviously I feel worse for him than me.
Yes.
But, you had that kind of thing. And then Isaiah Pacheco last night. Ben had that on the yard, so great job. We had him over 10.5 carries, and he had 10. So other than that, it was pretty much a clean sweep of the board for the entire weekend.
Wonderful. There you go. That QR code will get you access to the various different ways you can interact with us in the Discord, advice on your bets, EKs all over the fantasy stuff. So honestly, I think it's a hell of a value there, but I'm a little biased. All right. So it's time to get to our favorite bets of the day. Strong emphasis on Monday Night Football here. The injury report has certainly, for me, changed the complexion of this game fairly significantly. And I'm not loving the Ravens like I would have said, 5-6 days ago. But there are a lot of different ways to bet this. EK, you have the floor. First down.
All right. First down, I'm going to go with Derrick Henry to score 2 touchdowns. And I can get this at plus 285. Look, he's minus 205 or so to score 1. So you can't really play that. It's basically unplayable at that number. Although, people have been taking Jalen Hurts every week. They're taking Josh Jacobs every week. They're taking Jonathan Taylor every week. And they're taking Derrick Henry every week. And that has paid off over the last year and a half or so. But let's go with 2. This is a guy who has done this more than a third of his games as a Raven, coming off a bad game last game against the defense that's given up a whole bunch of points. You get a pass interference in the end zone, plus another one, that kind of thing, and this will be a nice payday. So I like a little sprinkle here to basically try to make 3 times my money with Derrick Henry to get in the end zone twice against a team where I project you're going to get 4 touchdowns tonight from Baltimore. Why can't 2 be from Derrick Henry?
I think there's been a recalibration too far on the Henry props across the board. You know, Cleveland shut him down. What did Cleveland do to Green Bay? Like, Cleveland's front 7 might be the best in the NFL, certainly against the run. And Jimmy Schwartz is run blitzing his ass off. And I don't know that everybody in the league wants to do that. We're going to hear a lot about Derrick Henry on today's show. First down, Beltway, Ben.
First down, we're going to go to a player who has not done much of anything this year. 4 catches for 25 yards to be exact. Rashad Bateman, over 35.5 receiving yards, minus 112. Now, you heard me talk a little bit about bulk receiving yesterday, and that's why I like Rashad Bateman. We've seen him and Lamar. It's gotten better through the years. He can stretch the field. He can make the big play. And he's got 8 targets this season. Now, 3 or more are long passes. They're longer than 35.5 yards if they would have connected. They didn't early in the year. This is a primetime matchup where we've seen Lamar go to Rashad Bateman, and those two connect on the big play multiple times. Zay Flowers is doing incredible things, and he is a true wide receiver 1 in the NFL. We've seen it. There's going to be a lot of attention his way. And if Bateman gets that matchup with Terry and Arnold, I mean, it's cooking because Arnold is not a good cornerback. Their secondary is a little overrated to me. And I don't think we need the volume here. As I said before, if they can pick on Arnold the way I think they will, I think Bateman catches 2 passes, maybe 3, and he goes over this because one of these catches will be for 20-plus yards.
I'm with you. He's overdue. Still no Isaiah Likely. He is the primary vertical threat, and I suspect he gets more looks in this game than he has the first 2. First down for me, I'm just going Jared Goff, 2 passing touchdowns or more. We can talk about Jared Goff outside of dome and this or that. But the Baltimore Ravens pass rush is a joke with Nnamdi Madubuike and with Kyle Van Noy. Without him, I think it's borderline abject failure. You know, Odafe Oweh put on more weight to try to stay on the field because he could stop the run better because he started getting benched in the playoffs with some run-heavy Bill scripts. That hasn't worked out for him across the board. You know, guys like Tavius Robinson, like, do we really think – I know Detroit's a little beat up front, but do we really think those guys are going to win? The ball will come out quickly, and Goff is not above throwing to his running backs and his tight ends. The Ravens suck covering running backs and tight ends in coverage. They sucked with Madubuike and Van Noy getting pressure. They're going to really suck without it. I still think they have some run stuffers who can maybe mitigate some of the damage of losing Madubuike there. But no interior pass rush, I think, is going to allow Goff to step up in the pocket, complete high percentage passes in the red zone, isolate Roquan Smith in coverage where he struggles. So I'm comfortable with this. And I also think Johnny Morton, the new offensive coordinator, is not afraid to be more pass happy than Ben Johnson was. Second down, Beltway, Ben.
Second down, I'm going to take a play that I kind of went back and forth with all morning, and I'm going to end up going with it. Mark Andrews, anytime touchdown at plus 196. I think there's a lot of value there.
He's got to catch the ball, Ben. When it hits him in the hands or it hits him in the gut, he's got to catch it.
Yeah, and then there was also last week, again, I'm not excusing it. He needs to hold on to the ball, but it's close. It was a very tight one, and a lot of people wanted them to look at it. I probably leaned it was a touchdown, but whatever. I do think he gets one here. Mark Andrews needs this for himself. The Ravens are usually good about getting their guys things in spots like this where everybody has seen the struggles. And I thought that's why week 1 I went to it, because that's usually a spot where the Ravens and Lamar Jackson get their guy involved, make him look good. We all remember what happened last time. But so far for this year, or for Mark Andrews this year, it hasn't been that way. I mean, they did go to him in the Browns game, and he had a pretty handily touchdown that it gets punched out because he didn't hold on to the ball and fall to the ground the right way. So I do think Mark Andrews ends up in the end zone here. I get that he was more of a factor in this offense in previous years, but he has been very good in primetime scoring touchdowns. Lamar Jackson likes going to him, especially at home, which is what I think we'll see tonight. Now, plus 196 with no Likely, that's good value to me. When Likely gets back, I'm probably going to be Alan Andrews props in general. But with no Likely, this is good value to me.
Second down for me. Told you hear Derrick Henry's name a lot in this show. You're going to. This is a prop that by the playoffs last year, even for playoff football, was up around 21.5. It's now dialed back because in part, he had a fumble in prime time, right in the fourth quarter against Buffalo, even though he destroyed them for 3 quarters. And then he got shut down by Jim Schwartz again, who I said it. He's got the secret sauce to stop Derrick Henry most of his career. The Browns always mitigate Derrick Henry damage. And the Browns front seven looks pretty ferocious right now. So now it's down to 17.5 at a value that you would never find it at 20.5 last year. He went over this in 3 quarters of his games last year. He's going to be highly motivated after back-to-back games with a fumble. He's now had 5 straight quarters where he hasn't looked good. This is still a team that can get a fullback and multiple tight ends involved in the run game. And while I respect Detroit's run defense, and I'm not playing Derrick Henry yards over for the game, with the misdirection, with him in the pistol with Lamar Jackson, and with me rewatching the 2023 game between these teams where Baltimore killed them out of shotgun and pistol runs before Derrick Henry was a part of this, I just see too much value here to pass. Second down, EK.
I'm with you there.
Meaty.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Lamar Jackson. And you know that I think 5 years from now, everybody is going to be looking at number of plays and be throwing out games and game scripts where people are either having way more plays than they're going to have in a normal week or way less. Nobody does that. That's really, if people say, what do you do that nobody else does? I pore over those and look for value in those. Baltimore and their 2 games. Now, the average team, the Ravens should run about 60 offensive plays. They've run 58 and 40 in the first 2 weeks. They are going to run more plays tonight. More plays just means more attempts and opportunities. Despite running significantly under what they'll run tonight, Lamar Jackson has 29 attempts in week 1, and that's a game they were ahead the whole night until Buffalo, and 29 attempts in week 2, a game they win 41-17. His attempts tonight are 28.5. So even if they blow Detroit out, he should get over this. If it's a close game or they're trailing, he should get over this. And he should get way more than 98 plays in 2 games, that's under 50 plays a game. He's going to have 20 to 25% more plays tonight than they've been averaging. And I only need him to do what he's done the first 2 days. This is the science of how you bet props that nobody is doing now, and everybody will do in 5 years and say they invented it. Go over on the attempts, 28.5.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of fireworks from both these teams, and they're both probably going to have to throw the ball quite a bit to keep up with the other. Third down, I will kick it off. I've got a small parlay here for slight plus money. So I'm taking the total in this game under 48. That's a number that I feel comfortable with. There is no such thing as safe. I need to take that word out of my vocabulary. 36.5 look pretty safe for Atlanta, Carolina, especially if you would have told me Carolina's going to score 30. They're going to score 30, and that's going to go under 36.5. I'd have said you're out of your effing mind. Turns out I would have been out of my effing mind. So I think both these teams are good for 24 points tonight. So I'm going to play it at 48. We've talked about Derrick Henry a lot on this show. Is he going to go 2 straight games without scoring a touchdown? Hasn't happened since he joined the Ravens. And then Laporta, I think, will go off tonight. I think he will get force-fed some in the seam, and I think the Ravens are going to have to pick their poison, and I don't think they're going to just want to man Kyle Hamilton on him. I think he'll get some reps on Marlon Humphrey. I think he'll like that. I think they'll challenge the rookie free safety, Malachi Starks. I think Goff will look him off with his eyes and have some fun throwing to the middle of the field, especially to this move tight end. And I'm just playing it at 2 receptions. Would not surprise me if he caught 5 balls for 85-plus yards and a touchdown. I truly think in this game script, they got a rookie linebacker, Teddy Buchanan, who can run some, but I don't know about coverage instincts just yet. Roquan Smith can't cover anybody, and they're without their best interior pass rusher, and I would say their only outside pass rusher, and I don't even consider Van Noy a special pass rusher. He's a very interesting edge defender, very complete panorama. He's not winning physically, individually, with size or speed. He's cleaning up scheme sacks. So that's where I am on this one. EK, third down.
All right. third down, I'm just taking the Ravens to win the game. I know they're a little beat up on defense, and I certainly respect everything you say on that. And yeah, that makes it a little different. But the line now keeps coming down. And now that we're under $2 in a lot of places, I just make the Ravens better than 67% to win the game at home against the team that I don't know what the Lion offensive line is now. It's not what it was last year. I don't know what the Lions are with these two new coordinators and not Ben Johnson. I mean, I saw Ben Johnson look pretty good yesterday with Chicago, and I don't know what the Lions are going to be when week 1 against Green Bay, they were dreadful. I just think the Ravens on my power ranks are the best team in the league. And if the Ravens don't have that crazy tipped ball on 4th down up in Buffalo and a Derrick Henry fumble and all those things go wrong, they win the game, and this is 7. This is a 7-point line. If the Ravens came in undefeated, it wouldn't be 4.5 or 5. It just wouldn't. We might be at 7.5 or 8. Let's not get, thrown by a couple of weird plays week 1 up in Buffalo, and let's trust what we've seen for the other 150 plays over 2 games from Baltimore. Yeah, they may give up points tonight, but they're in a zone offensively. They're a handful, and I don't know what Detroit is on defense just yet. Give me Baltimore. I'll bet against Jared Goff outdoors. They just have to win the game. I think they find a way to win, and I don't lay a lot of big prices. I will lay the big juice here.
Well, and look, if you just want to boil it down to Lamar, since becoming their full-time starter in 2019, first full season as a starting quarterback, he's 22-2 against the NFC, and he's 10-1 against the NFC at home. So there's that. Beltway Ben, 3rd down.
Jahmyr Gibbs over 84.5 rushing and receiving yards. I knew all week that I was going to be playing this at some point. Now, depending where you look on the Ravens' run defense, it's fine, right? I think it's a good, solid run defense. But we have seen them let running backs get off a little bit, especially in these types of matchups, especially just one run. Now, if Jahmyr Gibbs gives me a 30 to 40-yard run in this game, I think it's
or reception or screen pass, wheel route, whatever.
I'm getting there. But no, just specifically on the ground, though, he had 104 combined yards last week. He only had 50 in week 1. And as you just mentioned, in the air, James Cook, 5 catches, 58 yards in week 1. Last week, Judkins, who was good on the ground, 10 for 61. He had a 31-yard run. He had 3 catches for 10 yards. Now, this Jahmyr Gibbs is far better than both of those two in the passing game. Now, James Cook can make plays in the passing game, but Jahmyr Gibbs is better. Namdi Madubuike's out. That hurts the pass, and it hurts the run. He has a burst that we don't see many guys have. Like, this is a different type of player, whether they want to get it to him in the passing game, if they're playing from behind, whether they're up and they're trying to run some clock. I like Jahmyr Gibbs here over 84.5 rushing and receiving.
I also think we could see some tempo out of this Lions offense. Yeah, it's on the road. Yeah, it's prime time. Best way to shut the crowd up is by scoring points. You've got a Ravens team that's got to figure out a lot of substitution patterns, right? And it takes more than one guy to replace Madubuike. So keep their personnel on the field. Find something you like, try to dictate it, and attack them with high percentage passes to somebody like Gibbs. I think you could see the Lions looking like in a 2-minute type look at times where it's not truly a 2-minute offense. So, yeah, we're on that for a unit. Meatballs in the house. Everybody's done 3rd down, right?
Yes.
All right. 4th and short. EK, you have the floor.
Yeah, I first looked at short in terms of distance and looked at the Lions under their touchdown being over being 1.5 yards. You can always bet a team will their longest or shortest touchdown be 1.5 yards, like a Nerfy or Yerfy bet. And I was going to take the Lions not to have a 1-yard touchdown run because I think they'll throw it in. I think Gibbs will get in, that kind of stuff. But I actually moved off of that when I saw that you could get first half under and I could buy it up on an alt line at 27.5. And this now comes at a pretty reasonable price. I mean, you got to pay up a little bit, but you're still in that $1.40 range. And look, this is a pretty simple, you've got to have 4 touchdowns in the first half, and you got to make all 4 extra points, right? You got to have 4 touchdowns. See, the thing about first half and why I really like betting first half unders, the game that doesn't get loose at the end of the game, there's no 2-point conversions. There's none of that stuff. It's very straightforward, and you can really isolate what you need to go over or under. Once you get to 24.5, you got to have 4 touchdowns. Same thing here. Now, in this case, even 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals, I'm going to be fine. You got to have 4 touchdowns in the first half or I'm going to win this bet, and I'll bet against 4 in the first 2 quarters. Give me under 27.5.
But I'm just going to jump in here and go ahead and give mine because it plays off of what Eric did. So we can both hit here. That's a big number, 28 points in the first half. I just want both teams to get to 10 points. Todd Monken's early game scripts are legit. This is a defense in Detroit that got eviscerated. Baltimore in the first half in 2023 against Detroit scored 30 points on 9+ yards per play and had 18 first downs in the first half of that game. And that's before Derrick Henry got there, and that's before Zay Flowers was Zay Flowers. So and Baltimore knows its defense is fugazi. Like, they know it. They saw it in Buffalo in the fourth quarter. 40 points on the road in Buffalo weren't enough. I think they start with their foot on the gas. And again, I think the Lions are going to find a lot of joy picking up 8 to 15-yard chunk plays, throwing the ball down the field. I don't think they have to matriculate it. Gibbs will be explosive. I think Jameson Williams has a chance to have 2 or 3 big plays in this game. Again, we're talking about a rookie starting free safety and a team without its 2 best pass rushers. So I just need both these teams to get to 10 points in the first half. I trust both kickers.
We are both good. I mean, look.
Oh, no, I know. No,
10-10 we both cover. 13-10 we both cover. 14-10 we both cover. 14-13 we both cover.
Yes.
17-10 we both cover. There's a lot of room for both of us on that Venn diagram where we both hit.
Yes, that's where I am on this. It's great weather here tonight. Ball should be carrying. Warm night. I like both kickers. Beltway Ben, 4th and short.
Yeah, 4th and short here. I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs over 26.5 first half rushing yards. I talked about it before. I do think he has a solid day on the ground, and I'm also betting on him to have a good day catching the football. But when you look at what he's done on the ground this year, it hasn't been as much as I'd like to see. And I do think Morton eventually is going to adjust here. The Ravens, we know what Jared Goff can do with the arm. They play a lot of, soft coverage, a lot of weird different things. I do think if Jahmyr Gibbs can get to that second level, he has the explosion to get through guys and keep rolling. I think we just love
All right,
Jason.
just me and you, kid. I'm listening. I love it.
This is the first time it's just been us two. But no, I like Jahmyr Gibbs a lot here. Over 26.5 first half rushing yards. I just think on the road, they might try to control the ball a little bit. So I'm taking him over the 26.5. Do we have Jason back?
It's all right. We'll do the OT. He knows the deal. And when he comes in, he comes in. You've done this every day for 7 days a week. I've done this a number of weeks. We'll finish it up.
Right,
you want to go ahead? I'll let you go ahead.
You can go first. You go first.
All right. My look. Overtime, we're trying to do same game parlays now. There's a couple of different things I like. If you want to do 3 legs, 4 legs, that kind of thing, you can do it. There's nothing I'm going to give you that I haven't already given out. But how about Derrick Henry to score, Baltimore to win, and you can throw in that first half under 27.5, and that will pay nicely. So that's my 3-leg parlay. That'll pay over plus 200. Derrick Henry to score, Ravens to win, first half under 27.5.
Gotcha. For overtime for me, just in case Jason gets back, I'll leave his if he comes back. I like Lamar, 225 plus passing plus rushing yards. I think he can get this just with his arm, but then you do give him the ability to get some rushing yards there. So I like that for 225 plus. Rashad Bateman, 15 plus receiving yards. Already broke that down. Like Rashad Bateman a lot today. This is one catch for him. Jahmyr Gibbs, 60 plus rushing and receiving yards. It's another play that I already broke down that I like. And then Lamar, 2 plus passing touchdowns, minus 170 to minus 200, depending where you look. So I put that in with these 3 to get us plus 147.
You guys
Jason,
got me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're up. Your Honor.
It's been great. All right. Excuse me. All right. So football, foosball, it's all the same, right? This is not obviously an American football play, but we're hot in the Bundesliga and we're riding it. Bayern plays on Friday against Werder Bremen. You've heard me talk about this match. We jumped it for plus money over 4.5 goals. a couple days ago in the Super Discord as soon as it populated. Here's where we're going with this one. Bayern, again, okay, they've now scored 14 plus 5, 19 goals and conceded twice in 4 league matches. That's a lot of goals. Werder Bremen has played 4 league matches. All those matches have featured at least 3 goals. Werder Bremen has conceded 10 times already in 4 weeks, and it's not like they're playing Bayern Munich every week. Freiburg hung 3 on them. So do I think Bayern scored 3 or 4 themselves? Absolutely. If they let Harry Kane play more than 60 minutes in this match, I think they score at least 4 like last week, maybe 5 themselves. We need them to start fast. They've been doing it the whole Bundesliga season, and they look good in the first half against Chelsea at home. So to win the first half, to win the game, and over 3.5 total goals in that match. You can certainly get more ambitious with this if you want. FC Bayern. So there we go. Die Bundesliga. Ben, let them know how much I sucked yesterday, please.
Oh.
That number at the bottom was pushing 40 units. I was so pumped to get over 40 units up since we launched this show May 21st. I had too many plays riding on that Falcons game. Shame on me. So we start grinding back uphill. We told you guys, Super Discord, Eric has hit 15 straight college bets in the Super Discord. Documented, verified. If you're in the Discord, trust me, you can't miss it because people are crowing about how much money they're making. I destroyed the NFL week 1, week 2. We had a setback yesterday. Onward and upward. I like where we're at for tonight. So that's where we are. We'll have more MLB plays this week. We'll have some WNBA. I'll have more soccer plays. We will be back tomorrow. Beltway Ben, tomorrow a little later. Your schedule's crazy.
Tomorrow we can shoot for noon. Yeah, 3:30 wake up call this morning. Never easy, but we got it done. And also I was going to say something right before you finished there. We're officially a month away from NBA season, and we know how we've done in the NBA in the past. We started on the NBA. I know you got off to a great start, and last year with Sportsline, I remember just talking to you a lot about that. So once we get NBA back, it'll just be another way for us to continue to win good.
Absolutely. So we'll see you guys at noon tomorrow. You want to bet, we want to bet. Thank you for betting with us. Oh, and you want to listen? We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcast. We're on all those platforms, so you can watch and listen. Thanks. We'll do better tonight. See you tomorrow.